Good morning, Tony. Thank you so much for hopping on and chatting with me. For anyone that doesn't know Tony yet, Tony was a big part of my journey in this. He is a incredible coach, a incredible mentor, and I don't care. Like I will fight someone as far as I'm concerned, the king when it comes to confidence on camera. So, Tony, really quick though, for those that don't know you, tell us a little bit about you and why you got started in the digital space, but then what made you shift into the coaching.
Geez, first of all, thank you for such a kind introduction. Uh, it's hard to call a lot of people friends in the space, because it's hard to connect, virtually. Of course, COVID taught us to, but you and I have always seen so eye to eye on things. And we've definitely seen not eye to eye on things. And the respect, this relationship with you has taught me that it's possible to disagree and learn from each other and be respectful in this weird, scammy, but also not scammy, but also supportive, but also sometimes not supportive space in this court of the internet. It's very refreshing. So thank you, Ashley. I could say the same for you. Well, thanks for having me on. This like whole marketing thing has been such a whirlwind and not what any of us said we wanted to be when we grew up and when we were six years old, right?
So
Um,
true.
I, you know, I guess I'll kind of start backwards. I ended up being able to become a coach now because my day job was supporting creators and entrepreneurs. So when I was younger, one of my first like big boy jobs in the office, I worked for Kajabi. I was employee number 18 and I was just a entry level customer support agent. I made like $40,000 a year. This was like, gosh, I don't know, 15 years ago. And just answering emails all day and I was starting to get the hang of it. And then I started talking to them on Zoom and coaching them through how to use the platform and then how to run email sequences and how to create their courses and how to do all this stuff. So I've been in the world of like course creation and stuff like this for the last 10 years. So this kind of awareness of what coaches do, what entrepreneurs do, what course sellers do, I've kind of just been around that for a while. And then about 6 years into that, I decided that I just wanted to be a creator. I've been supporting creators. I am a creative myself. I was placed as in a manager role to manage like 60 people, and well, let's just say that was not for me. And so I said, you know what? I love this opportunity. Can I just switch to the video department instead? And Kajabi was like, yeah, sure. So I did that, loved it, and then I got some great opportunities outside of Kajabi. So I went kind of on this run through the tech world. And unfortunately, if you know the tech space, it's full of layoffs and really volatile markets. So I got laid off like 3 times in a row. And we had just bought a house, and we were looking at finances. And when I lost that third job, which we'll probably get into this, it was partly the market, honestly, partly ADHD. It was just really hard to hold down a real job. Once we looked at that point, we just didn't have enough to make it happen. So we had to sell our house. We moved in with my parents. It was me, my wife. I think at that time I had 3 kids and 2 cats and their litter box, like all in one room. Crazy. It was so gross, dude. We jerry rigged like a air filtration unit in the out the window. It was crazy.
Yep.
Um, but then I applied to about 200 jobs in about 6 months. Not like LinkedIn easy apply. Like I had 200 different resumes. And we just couldn't figure it out. So eventually I took a night shift somewhere and I saw my first video about digital marketing and I was like, well, you know, yes, my skills are, I'm already kind of in the know. I might have a little bit of a leg up in terms of understanding this world, but I got to give it a try. Like I'm comfortable on camera because I had been doing social media for something else for the last several years. And then I saw my first video and I don't mean to go too deep on the background here, but it's probably a good place to say it. I worked in social media enough to know that the only way to do well is to stand out. And so when I was looking at all these people doing digital marketing, I saw they were all doing the same thing. They were all like, "Hey, buy this $7 course. Hey, buy this $7 course will change your life." The $7 course, we all remember, of course, that's
Yeah.
legendary marketer. And I was like, huh, these people all know this is a scam, right? Like, no, nobody actually knows that. People in the comment section are like, oh my God, I'm signing up today. And I'm like, wait, what? Nobody can see that this is not real? And I thought, you know what? I'm living in my parents' house. I have a night job, which is paying really low, but it's paying. I'm not desperate like this minute for cash. Why don't I take a month, do a bit of a like a perspective of something that nobody else is doing, and I just save up money for these courses and I buy them and I just rip them to shreds, in a nice, in a respectful way. And then so I did that. And so kind of the rest is history. I started reviewing courses, I gained trust, and eventually, I mean, I was able to sell quite a few courses at this. I've probably sold over 1,000 courses at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't count anymore, but there was a shift where, to be honest, even though I probably was well suited to become a coach, skill wise, there was a point where all my followers were digital marketers. And I was like, well, what do I do? And my friend was like, well, why are you like trying to roll the ball uphill? Just serve digital marketers. I'm like, yeah, that's way easier. So then
Yeah.
I started doing that. Um,
I
yeah.
love that. And I think, like you said it, you have to stand out. But a lot of people hear that, and especially like when you're brand new in the space, that feels scary. Like that feels daunting. Like I don't want to stand out. I'm this introvert, right? But it's so easy, and that's one of the things that I love with the way that you teach confidence is you can stand out without being completely untrue to yourself. Like you can still authentically be
Oh
you and
yeah.
stand out.
Yeah, standing out is more about perspective than it is about like being good. Like we're not standing out because we're better than everyone else. We're just standing out because we're offering something nobody's ever seen. Like I gave this advice to this young woman. She was just trying to figure out. She tried to do TikTok shop. She maybe had like 50 followers and just not a really active account. And she said, "Well, what do I do? I'm trying to sell this course." And so I think the course she was selling was SWC. And so I don't know if we're allowed to say course names on this show
You're
here. Just kidding. Um, and I said, well, we'll get into this. We'll probably get into this at the event too, a lot. But there's all these people that are selling to stay-at-home moms and healthcare workers and all these people that have never heard of digital marketing. And there's so many people doing that in order to stand out, not only do you have to have a specific perspective, but you also have to be an excellent content creator. That's really, really difficult. So
hmm
why don't you just serve people that are already sold on this, like digital marketing world, and you're just selling them from the other side of the purchase decision. So they know they want to buy, they know they want to enter this world, and you're just there like, hey, I just purchased. I'm gonna show you what everything's like. And so her videos were literally like not high produced. She didn't even wipe her camera. Like they were blurry and no cutting or editing. She just goes, hey, my name is, I don't want to dox her. This is my name, and I just bought this course, and everyone's making money, and I don't think, I don't know if it's real or not. So I'm just gonna like do this thing. And she's just like sitting at her kitchen table. First video got 200 views, right?
Yeah.
Second video, 300 views. Fourth video, like still 400 views.
hmm
And then she didn't change a thing in her content, and she made like 40 grand in 2 months or something
Yeah.
like this,
Yeah,
which is
because
just, it's just crazy.
yeah, people just want to see that they're not the only ones starting and that it is a real thing and someone else is going through it. And
You know
yeah.
what? You and I talked about this for a long time about credibility versus relatability.
Mhm.
And because for if you guys listening, Ashley would always take this really relatable route where she's like holding her kids or she's like doing laundry. And was always against that because I think that um, before I met Ashley, I always thought like, well, from a sales perspective, you need to be coming from a position that they aspire to be in, not a position that they're in. So I was always like, no, you got to like position yourself as an expert. And it was then watching Ashley where I realized like, oh no, people want to see themselves doing the same things they're doing, just
Yeah.
like not stressed about finances.
Yeah,
And
right.
so, right, so you're like holding your kid, you're doing laundry, but you kind of have it all figured out financially. That's what this woman that was sitting at her table, she was like, "Hey, I mean, I sold stuff on Facebook Marketplace. I found 500 bucks and I bought this thing and I'm gonna go through it." And then she started to make some money and she never changed though. She still was at her kitchen table. And I'm like, dang, like we can just make money by
Yeah,
making money and letting people watch us. And if they're curious, they join us.
right.
Um, it just can be so powerful. And she won't be mad about me saying this. She's still not a great content creator. She's not that confident on camera. Is she a little outspoken? Yeah, like she can get passionate on some of the videos, which that probably helps. But anyway, it's just so there's no one way.
Right. Just being you, speaking to your customer, right? With what you know. I think
Mm.
that's so huge. So I know that you've done, I mean, you have done so many different things. I love like I can watch when you're on a live and someone will say something and you can almost see like a light bulb go off in your head. You're like, "Hey, I should do that. Like I should make this 3-day workshop or I should make this, whatever." And I've loved all of the different things that you've done. You've made your own course. You've been a guest speaker in multiple different communities, including my own. You have your own community. You've done these 3-day workshops. You just came out with a new, 14-day,
Oh
right?
yeah, that was a task.
So I love, and it's so cool because you're like, I'm just not going to sleep for a couple of days, and then all of a sudden you're busting out something new, which I think is so cool. But I know that you are, as we with the ADD, ADHD struggles go, you got to be selective, like with your time, what you agree to. So, what made you say yes to this retreat specifically?
Oh man, you know what? Um, before I get into the real reasons why, one of the things that made me give myself permission to do it was how far away it was. Ashley plans in advance, everybody. She asked me quite a bit of time ago. And for me, that's like, okay, I really want to do this for reasons I'll get into. I really want to do this. I have 6 months to make this happen. We can make it. No matter, nothing's going to stop me from doing this. And it turns out, Ashley, that this like you guys know I love to volunteer, but there's this one volunteer thing that I get roped into every year that I'm like, I really don't want to do. And it's that week, and I'm like so pumped. Anyway,
No.
I'm like, sorry, I have a thing. So content creation over video, like me teaching you how to do stuff over video, can only go so far. Like this is all anybody learns is like watching videos on YouTube and watching videos in courses. But teaching confidence on camera and brand building and preparation and just what is it? It's really whatever comes with this confidence, like your presence,
Yeah.
right? I can't teach that to you over video. And so when we're in person, you're like, hey, do you want the opportunity to teach like 10 people in person how to do all this? It's like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been wanting to do this whole time and I haven't been able to, is I actually get to stand next to you and we get to work on posture. We get to work on presentation and we get to just do reps. I get to stand next to you. We press record together and we just do a ton of videos just for practice. There's so much like real-time feedback. Like I can watch you record your video in real time. I'm right there with you and nobody else can hear us except maybe the 10 other people who are also not feeling confident on camera. And I just think that I would be able to help people like 10 times more effectively in person. So when
Yeah.
you said it, I was like, there's no way we're not doing this. Like this is so needed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Being able to like get the coaching and then break out like we're going to do into breakouts and actually implement it, I think is going to be so huge for their confidence. But like you said, just that those reps, that I think that's what's going to make it possible for people to carry it home.
Oh,
That's what's
yeah.
going to extend it. That's what's going to change it from another 3-day workshop or another boot camp, but to something that they've actually practiced, that they've felt the shifts. Because like you said, I can make a video, it can be like awkward, and then I can do it again. You're like, all right, you're getting there, but now try this, and I can make that shift. And then when I go home, I'm going to remember that conversation and be able to implement it at home.
Yeah, like imagine you are trying to create content and the tech is what stops you from even practicing.
Yeah.
Like imagine me standing there getting TikTok set up, pressing record, feeding you a line, and you just doing the line, and then me pressing stop. And we talk about it. How did that feel? Okay, here's your next line. But you want to say it like this. Remember, you ended the last sentence like this, but now we want to say it like this. Also, remember, there has to be a hook in here. So we're going to try a couple different hook templates. So the first hook is moving forward as you're saying your line. The next one is grabbing your phone and setting it down and being all shaky. The next one is maybe doing this. Maybe we're going to try this. And we're just going to try a bunch of different things. Whereas before it might take you 3 days to work up the courage to film yourself. I mean, I'm not making any promises. I don't really know the schedule yet, but granted, this episode is being filmed way ahead of time. But you're probably gonna press record 100 times. Like you're gonna do it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm so excited. People are
I
gonna
know.
like love it and also hate it because it's gonna feel like a boot camp in the best way.
It's literally in the best way because you're so right. Like, I think that so often people overthink it, the
Hmm.
actual hitting record. What do I say? And it's like you don't realize that literally everything is content. Like you said, I make content while I'm folding my laundry or doing my dishes. And so I think this is really going to be fun for us as the coaches to watch them. Like you can literally see the confidence grow, which I absolutely love.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man. And
Do
it's also
you?
gonna be so fun for these, what you said, 9 or 10 people that are gonna be here.
Yeah.
um, to like you and I grab all their social handles and just kind of like watch them
Yeah.
before and after and grow. Because yeah, gosh, this could be awesome. I can't
Which
wait.
I think is really important, right? Like if you're not having fun in the space, then it becomes this chore. And then we can see that in your content. We can see that you're just making content to check it off your to-do list for the day.
Yep, the 3 a day that one program told you to do, or the three a
Yeah.
day that one coach told you is necessary, or no way, man.
I know it's wild. That's one of the things too is you can literally find a coach, a mentor, a guru that's going to tell you you have to make 3 a day, you have to make 5 a day, you have to make 20 a day. I personally know someone that's doing, I think I told you about this TikTok shop, and they're posting 80 plus videos a day, and I'm like, I would get so insanely burnt out on that. Like, there's absolutely no way.
80?
80, yeah. And so I'm like, nope. So I just love that.
What?
Isn't that wild?
I'm
Isn't that wild?
speechless.
Yep. On like, I think 5 different accounts. So they're split up throughout, but
Ashley, for anybody like for anybody listening to this, I now consider myself a professional videographer. I have taken payment to do video. I've clipped. I've tried to batch 30 in a day for myself.
mm-mm.
I can barely do 30. They're posting 80. Okay, sorry, we
Yeah.
should move on. I'm
Isn't that wild?
flabbergasted.
Isn't that wild? So I think that a lot of times though people see people that are doing that, and this specific person has paid thousands and thousands into coaching that has told them to do that. So my point with that is you can literally find a coach, you can find a mentor that's going to tell you like you need to go live every single day at the exact same time for a minimum of an hour. And then there's going to be people like me that I'm like a little, I have to be a little bit more realistic, right? Like I've
Dude,
got
forget
I've got
about it.
mom
Yeah.
life, and so if I can go live but it can only be 20 minutes, well guess what? Like I could get 10 leads in 20 minutes. And so
Dude,
I hate to think that there are people that are not even pushing that live button because they know they don't have an hour.
I want to just say that you and I are perfect examples that you can start this in less than 2 hours a day. We know that this is language that's actually not, it's really frowned upon to use this language because most of the people that use this language are lying about it, unfortunately. But you are one of the only people I know that can do this in 2 hours a day or less. When I was first starting and I was reviewing courses, I was watching a course for no more than 15 minutes, right? The legendary videos, the 15-day challenge, 15 minutes. Then I'd write my review on it. That was what, probably 30 minutes to make one TikTok. And I would just do one a day. And then I'd try to answer comments, and that probably took me another 15 minutes. We were doing an hour a day. I was working full time, making my videos while I was on my break in my car. An hour a day.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need. Like
Right.
just to start, right? And eventually
Definitely.
things will get busier and hopefully you'll get more comments and more DMs and you're going to want to research more and it'll scale from there. But like you don't have to just go crazy and do 10 videos a day. And like right now I post 3 videos a week
Mm-hmm.
and I go live twice a week.
Right. And it's
I don't
really
know.
just about like that momentum too, which I feel like is why I didn't want to do a marketing retreat and I didn't want to do like mindset because I've gone to both and there's nothing wrong with either of them. But I have gone to mindset and my mindset retreats and I've been like, man, this is great. This is super valuable, but I wish
It was a
I could
little more actionable.
easily like put this into my business. I
Can
could
you
easily put this into my marketing. So that's why I wanted to do this retreat specifically as mindset and marketing. And like I'm calling it the marriage between the two because you can't be successful with marketing if you don't have a decent mindset. You can't be consistent. You can't get
oh,
that momentum and the motivation.
can you remind me what you're covering? Are you telling everyone what you're covering in this whole retreat yet?
Yeah, I mean, it's just I'm not exposing each specific session,
Okay.
but just really, really tapping into the importance of your mindset, having a positive mindset, um, and trust, right? Like trusting that you are where you are in your journey for a reason and kind of just, focusing on growing yourself, not
Yeah, like you're not in a
comparing.
race against anybody else.
Mm.
I also want to just talk about that for just 2 seconds
Yeah.
about the mindset piece. Um, it's kind of gotten a bad taste in people's mouth recently because for a long time we get all these mindset trainings. We get them from everybody does the mindset trainings. We get some from Amy Porterfield. We get some from Brennan Burchard. We get some from Tony Robbins. We get some from Dean Graziosi. We get some from Mel Robbins. We get some from blah 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 blah. All these people focus on mindset, and which is good. And then we have these modules in Legacy and in SWC and in Roadmap and in DWA. And there's all these mindset modules. And most of us in this space, we've seen them all 5 times. So like, there's a lot of us that are like, oh, I'm sick. I just want to like learn what button do I friggin' click? You know what I mean? And unfortunately, it's kind of had the backwards effect where now we feel like mindset is fluff a lot of the time,
Mhm.
and we're an adult. We don't need to like check ourselves. We're like we've learned we've read the book of life or half of it or a third of it, whatever age people are at, and we're good. We don't need to work on mindset. We're confident. We feel okay in ourselves. That is so not true. Like
Mhm.
the reason why Mel Robbins and Tony Robbins and all these people are as successful as they are is because that work is transformational. And when
Yeah.
we skip it, there's literally a brick wall in front of us between us and success. Like we cannot, oh gosh, like especially being like a stay-at-home mom or like I'm a work at home dad, right? We're home all the time, or having imposter syndrome or wanting
Mhm.
to let my wife work. But right now my skills are bringing in more. So we have to be okay with that balance. And maybe that'll shift someday. And, um, making myself feel capable that this can be a real business instead of just a side hustle. And like, all of this crazy stuff that you have to jump over just to make a sale on the internet requires so much work. Like, I thought my therapy would be so much more personal. Like, it would be affecting my personal life because that's why I started it. But
Mhm.
it's affected my business like way more than I thought. Anyway, I just have a lot to say about mindset as somebody who used to be super sick of it. And then once I finally dived into it, I was like, dang, this is literally the missing piece. Like anybody can teach you how to set up a stand store. Are you kidding? You know what I mean?
Right. Right. And especially like when you really think about it, feeling like there's a lot of unknown that comes with this. When am I going to make my sale? When am I going to make a next sale? I've gone a week without a sale. Like, is it for,
I've gone 3 months without a sale. What the heck do
yeah.
I do? Yeah.
Yeah. So being able to manage and like through those, I call them like, the valleys and the hills and the peaks and everything along the way, it's really important to be able to manage that. And I'm tapping into it from like a faith-based mindset is kind of how I'm doing this. And I just actually texted you the other day about this. You said in one of your 3-day things, because that's one of the things that's really hard for people to do something like this is to the feeling of worthy and then like how do I share this because I want other people to experience this. I want them to experience these results and stuff. And I just loved like I'm not going to put you on the spot. You don't have to name the verses and stuff here, but it was like the way that you taught during that 3-day workshop that you did, man, it was over a year ago now. It was like you said, transformational to me because it can be such a disservice by not sharing. There was so long when I first started that I specifically didn't want to share any of my stuff on Facebook because
Mm.
people know me on Facebook. On TikTok, they're strangers. They're people I've never met before, but people on Facebook are people that I used to babysit for. They're people I sit next to in church. They're people that, their kids go to school with my kids. And I was really uncomfortable with the judgment that came from that. But it's
Yeah.
wild because so many of those people I've been able just posting and then they've joined me and now they're having success and results. And I'm like, this is why I do it. There's going to be people that are going to judge you no matter what, but there's just there's so much value in this that I just really wanted to bring to people. And as I started, building this out, seeing what people like, one of the questions on the application that I had for this was asking people what is their biggest mindset. And I just am so like happy with the way that this is coming together because this is what they need. People are having issues, and there's a little bit, sometimes it's the techie, but more than that, it's the consistency and the willpower to stay motivated, believing that I am worthy,
Oh man.
confidence with the highs and the lows. Um, Coming from corporate and being in healthcare, I just have these roadblocks, overthinking and then stopping and falling off, believing I'm capable or worthy of success, right? Like I tend to compare my journeys to others who took off faster. And these are the people that I want to, like you said, be there in that room and show them, like, hey, let's lift this veil. It
That's
does.
literally, it's my favorite Bible verse when Jesus goes to the people and he says, you shall compare yourself to others and overthink everything until you're frozen.
Mhm.
He doesn't say that. He literally never
Right,
says it.
right. And
I'm
it,
like, dude, there's so much. I mean, we can save the really good stuff for the event if you want, but there's so
yeah.
much encouragement there. Like I used to think that I mean, we could talk about it a little bit right now. The when I was young, so I grew up Catholic. Did
Hmm.
you grow up Catholic?
Hmm.
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember I was diagnosed with ADHD at age 30 or 28 or something like this. So undiagnosed as a child, I was like an extrovert, just trying to get all the attention. And they would drill the book of Matthew like into my brain. They would say this, it was in chapter 6 somewhere. It says, I can remember it being taught to me something like, beware of practicing your righteousness before other people just to be seen by them, because then you'll have no reward from your Father who's in heaven, right? So when you give to the needy, don't announce it. The hypocrites do that in their synagogues and on the streets. Don't do it to be honored by others, because then you've received your reward in full, right? That's the gist of it.
Hmm.
And so I kind of tried to listen to that and be like, okay, well, I can't just do things just so that other people see me do them.
Right.
And so that, which was maybe okay for an ADHD kid to learn. Like that's a good way to learn not to be a, you know, attention hog. But then when I realized I was going to be in social media,
That's hard.
yeah, pit in my stomach. Like I hated being out there. Like I hate it, even though I am technically an extrovert and I love being around people. Like pushing my image to audiences, it felt like I was this fraud who was just like trying to be famous. You know what I mean? Because that's what it feels like. You're like, you want to be popular. You want people to like you and comment on you and give you attention. That's what social media is.
Right.
And it was so backwards than what we're told to being like humble and modest. Right. So what it really was I didn't really understand how valuable I was and how valuable I was created. Right. So if you are providing value, like if you're actually doing something that helps people's lives like you were and you didn't want to post about it, I I think you're doing a disservice by not putting the word out there,
Hmm.
right? We're taught to be humble and we're taught to be modest, but we're also in the Bible like is much more clear that we're clearly taught to shine when we have good things to shine.
Right.
Like so that was in chapter 6, Matthew chapter 6. In Matthew chapter 5, I know you said not to quote literally. I'm just
Oh,
quoting
you're
literally
fine.
because
You've got it.
um, the chapter before that, he literally says, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everybody in the house.
Mhm.
In the same way, let your light shine before others so that they may see the good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." So, like, if you're doing good works, you have to just like let that shine.
Right.
Like, you have to believe in the value you provide, like, and believe if you actually want to help others, you have to like let yourself believe that you want to help others. Like, it's your obligation then to create content because it's the only way people find us online today. Like, now we're seeing friggin' priests and nuns online. Do you think that that is second nature to them? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how do people find you now without a podcast or social media or YouTube channel?
Hmm.
It's just content.
And it's
So,
wild too, because
yeah,
I do think that there's a shift for a lot of people. I know that there was for me. Like when I started this, I'm going to be honest with you, like I was this close to rock bottom. Like this was my Hail Mary. This was my like final, like, okay, I don't know what else to do. I gotta do something. I'm tired of watching other people make money online. If it really is this easy, um, and I don't do it, I'll never forgive myself. So that's kind of why I jumped in. And when I jumped in, it was with the sole intention. It was very selfish, right? My bills, my goals, my dreams, my
of
family, my
course.
time, right? Like my
You got
my
to put the
guilt.
oxygen mask on yourself before you put it on others.
Yeah, and my goal, my thought was, okay, I'm going to get this and I'm going to sell it over and over and over and over again. And then it's turned into so much more, right? Like the skills within this, I'm like, wait a minute. Like I can, because of what I'm doing, like I can go to, I've helped multiple businesses that need to learn how to market. And I get to be the one to help them with that, you know? And so it's just when that shift happened. And honestly, when that shift happened from I need to make money for me, myself, mine, right? To I want to show other people how they can use this, how they can learn from this. My success went way up too,
Oh yeah.
which I think is really cool.
Because your perspective, you're like selling from a whole new person is selling this stuff now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so neat. So I had this and I feel like this is like perfectly leading into this because I had a question on here that of value driven content, right?
Mm.
And what does value driven content actually look like in practice? And I think you kind of touched on it a little bit in the beginning when you're like, it's not just, spewing the same thing, $7 course. But what is
Yeah.
value driven content? What's an easy way to just give us a little taste of that?
I don't have an easy way, but I have a really effective way, I think, to talk about it. Okay. So value in this space is more than just like learning something. Value needs to affect their lives in a very tangible way. And so I try to take it back to its roots. So when I think of what value truly is, if it's going to lead them closer to success, what does success look like? What needs to happen for them to achieve success? They need to they need to act. They need to feel the propensity to like act or to move forward or to change. So when we talk about like I'm going to get a little deep into the weeds here because I actually think it's really important. When we think about inertia and how hard it is to move when you're not moving yet, like think about this visual. You can a train moving at full speed, or like not even full speed, just a train moving
Mm-hmm.
can break through a brick wall.
Mm-hmm.
But a train that is still can't even get over a wooden block. That is crazy. So
That's a
like
visual.
it is a crazy visual. This was taught to me by somebody else, and I can't let go of it. So my goal for content is to have them experience such a change of heart or a transformation of mind that they're able to just get over this wooden block. So I want to change their mind about something. I want to validate some fear that they've been having. I want to, maybe it's just as simple as sometimes just answering a question they have, but that's like weak. That's like low hanging fruit.
Mm-hmm.
I want to really, I want them to to feel something that makes them want to act after my video. That's what value means to me.
Yeah.
Because if we're not changing who people are or causing a transformation in people, we're not memorable. We're not gonna cause them to act. At the very least, I want them to follow or like or comment. But if I don't give them a reason to do that, a reason to act, a reason to change,
Yeah.
if it's just the same thing everybody else is doing, then what's the point? So like it has to be a new perspective. It has to be something that changes their way of thinking or validates this fear that they've had all along or like tells them that it's okay to move forward if they're a stay-at-home mom with no income. It's okay to move forward if they're 8 months pregnant. It's okay to move forward if you're, a dude who just got laid off and you're ashamed to tell your family or you don't know how to apply for jobs. It's okay to move about anything. But your content doesn't have to be, here's how to go viral on TikTok. Here's how to get more views and get out of the 200 view jail. Like it doesn't have to be what everyone else is doing.
Hmm. Which is so like I think that that is one thing that is really killing people's content before it even has a chance, right? Is they're just seeing somebody else and they're trying to cookie cutter and they're not injecting any pieces of them, which like life hack, you are the value, right? Like spoiler alert, you
Yeah.
are the value.
Do people realize like I don't know how to stand out? The only person who can be you is you.
Hmm.
Like why don't you just be yourself? It's like so easy. Not sorry. It's realistically it's difficult. I understand that. But conceptually it's like, "Oh, you want to stand out? Be the only thing that nobody else can be."
Which you're right. And like, I think there really is a difference between simple and easy,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Because, and this is one of the things that I'm so excited to be in that room and watching you with these attendees is it, when this clicks, it literally feels like a light bulb.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah.
and I know that you're going to be able to have these breakthroughs with them there of how to be themselves because sometimes people, this is one of the things, sometimes we become so much for everyone else. We become so spread thin. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a this, I'm a that, like all these different things. I'm an employee, all the things that we forget who we are, right? Like, who am I? I'm a mom. I mean, yes, but also, like, if I ask you deeper on a deeper level, because those are the things that, they can put into their content, but so often, especially with people that are struggling to feel worthy and capable, we squash those down. So being able to bring that light back to that and be like, no, like that is worth talking about. That is worth sharing. That is worth being seen. And I'm doing one of these dinners. I'm calling it a walk with authority dinner. It's going to be this huge, big, beautiful thing, having it in home chef cooked like 6 course surf and turf, like huge.
Yeah,
But I
cool. So you were
want,
you were wondering what day I wanted to coach on?
yes,
Just
is
make
that
it
the
that day.
day? That's the day. I can make it happen. I can make that happen. You'll be there for that. But I'm just so excited because I want, like, my assignment for this dinner is for them to show up as that version of themselves that feels okay with being seen. And like you said, in their version of success. When I first started this, I remember very specifically, she's not in this space anymore, but she was a coach and she said, no one's going to take you seriously if you're coming on here and creating content from your PJs with toys everywhere and laundry everywhere. And I'm like,
You're like,
I
wanted
don't
that.
like you, right? Because to me, where I was before I started this, I was working 12-hour shifts. I missed the first 4 Christmases of my oldest daughter's life. What success looked like to me was being able to be in my pajamas, covered in my babies, mountain of laundry in the background. So,
Literally, that is success. Yeah.
right. So
100%.
I'm so excited to see how people show up to this dinner in their version of
Are
success.
you better come in your PJs then?
Right? And like it's just so wild. And the cool thing is like that can change. Your version of success
Oh,
can
oh
change
yeah, man. Yeah,
by
like
seasons.
when I was really just starting, my version of success was dressing up in a full work uniform. That's what I needed.
Yeah.
Now it's, I mean, transparency, it's PJs.
Yeah,
I want
right.
to just stay at home with my kids and play board games all day. Tomorrow it's maybe dressed as a baseball coach and I actually have time for that kind of stuff. It's different
Yeah.
for everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love how like fluid that can be too, because as especially as parents, as our kids grow, that changes and everything too. And we get as entrepreneurs, ADHD entrepreneurs especially, we get new ideas and we're like, oh, hey, I could do this. So that success does change. So real quick, what's one thing that someone could start doing today? I don't want you to pull out the big guns because I know some of the stuff you're going to bring to the
Hmm.
retreat, but what's one thing that someone could do today in their content to just be a little bit more confident, just feel a little bit more confident?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just press record twice a day. That's really all it comes down to.
Yep.
You don't have to post, y'all. Just press record. It is so scary to um like show yourself online the first couple times, the first 20 times. Um, but just getting the reps of pressing record, seeing yourself talk. It could literally be like you wake up looking like whatever you compare yourself to in the morning. Half of you probably look like Yoda. The same was me, you know. Um, we in the dark, not good lighting. Just press record and say, "I'm up. I'm I gotta make my coffee because I am just a zombie. My kids are about to wake up, and I'm just trying to feel human before they get up. That's all I have to say. Boom. End video. You're not posting it. I just want reps capturing yourself on camera. 1 week of that, you're a different person on camera.
Oh, so true. And and that's one of the things too, because especially if they save it, like you said, don't have to post it, but save it and look at the difference between the start of the week and the end of the week. Big
Oh my
difference.
gosh. Oh, forget about it. No,
Yeah.
this is the biggest thing. Like the second we start making content every day and actually trying to improve our content every day, this is when it just it goes crazy.
Hmm. Yep, so true. Okay, last one, and then I'll let you run. Who do you think, from everything we've talked about, we've shared, um, I've begged you, bribed you to be part of this retreat, who do you think will benefit the most from being at this specific retreat? What kind of,
Knowing what I know about what you're doing, but mostly I'll probably speak to more about what I'll be teaching. Um, hmm. This is for the person who just doesn't think that they have all the pieces to be successful.
Mhm.
Um, it's for the person who, you know, you probably hear the kids crying in the background here. Um, it's for the person who just needs somebody to hold their hand through a couple of these steps, who's maybe never, who's maybe nervous to try things they've never done. Okay, we've watched videos on how to learn SEO, and we've watched videos to learn how to, do hooks, and we've watched videos to watch videos, but anybody who just really needs some hands-on help and they know that they can do great things, but they just haven't been able to step out of um, that place of fear or uncertainty. I think this event's just gonna make them bloom like crazy.
Yeah. Which I'm so excited about because, like you said, that could be someone that's brand new, or that could be somebody that's been in the space for over a year and feeling super frustrated. And I think we're going to see some really like visual breakthroughs.
Oh man, people are not ready for what one-on-one in-person content coaching does for you. I mean, not to say I can't say enough about what the mindset will do, obviously, but I'm not in control of that. What I am in control of is like, man, creating content by yourself is hard. Doing it with 10 other people who also find it hard is one thing.
Yeah.
But like having people there to actually tell you, oh, let's just shift this real quick, just like real time. You don't have to wait months to learn some of this
Yep.
stuff. I'm like jealous. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
Because
definitely.
I believe it or not, like I know I'm comfortable on camera. I'm the content coach. But day one for me, 10 years ago or whatever, 5 years ago, was terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying,
And we all
embarrassing.
start there.
I remember the first TikTok, and my cousin was like, dude, you'd be so good on TikTok. And I'm like, I'm not going to do this. And he's like, no, you should do it. And so I'm not even going to tell you what I did. It's so embarrassing. But I did the super embarrassing thing and I deleted it right after. I was like, this is so bad.
Oh, I remember. I remember you talked about this once, and I want you to go into this at the retreat because it is so good, and I think it'll really loosen people up too.
Yeah, well, they're gonna see a whole nother side of Tony if we share that story.
I
So,
love it. I love it. Well, we'll make them all do it with us too.
okay, that's good.
I love it. Oh my goodness. Well, Tony, do you have anything else specific you want to add in closing?
Yeah, I mean, gosh, if you swipe on social media, everyone, you're seeing all walks of life on there doing all sorts of amazing things. You're seeing, you know, I don't know what your guys' feed looks like. You're seeing super fit bodybuilders and like crazy CrossFit moms on one end of the spectrum. You're seeing people obsessed with Legos. You're seeing people teaching you how to garden. You're seeing our friend get sponsored by Dr. Pepper and Vita Coco. You're seeing like just the craziest differences in people finding success in this space. And there's not one mold. There's been proven that every type of person can find their place on here. And so if it were up to me, and if you were to ask me what the biggest differentiator is, it's just time on camera
Mhm.
and working on that comfortability and that confidence. And oh my gosh, it's going to take you so far.
I love it. And I love that, the way that we've put this together, it's not for anyone in any specific course, any specific program. It can be someone that is a brand new beginner or has your completely own thing that you're struggling to sell, you're struggling to market, and you're just ready for these breakthroughs and these mindset shifts. So
Yep.
I am so excited. Thank you, thank you, thank you again. I'm going to go ahead and end the recording here.
Thanks for having me on.
Of course.